Hi, my name is Michaela, and I am a makerspace specialist here at Spark Place at the Xenia Community Library. Today, what we're going to be doing is learning how to design a button in Adobe Spark, sometimes referred to as Adobe Spark Post. So Adobe Spark is available for free on any internet-enabled computer, as well as internet-enabled tablets and phones. So this is something that you can do on the fly. One of the reasons I like this, other than the fact that it's free, is that it allows me to create a template for you that you can then remix. So when you go to design buttons, what you are going to see below here in the description is two links. One is the link to the general template that's blank, and one, there's a link just to some examples. So if you wanted to go in and kind of look around on some examples that were already there. But we're going to be working in the blank template today. Like I said, you will need a sign-in of some sort to sign in, and it will generate an account for you if you don't already have one. And then everything that you do is saved to the cloud, which is nice. So we are going to remix this design. And all that means is that you're taking someone else's template and then make it yours. So you click on remix, and it's automatically one of your documents as well that you can change. So if it automatically names it my post. If you want to name it buttons, you can click in the box, change the name, and then it's saved as buttons. So if you were to go to projects, it would come up. So what you will see here is that there are two circles, and the outer ring that's a little darker is where the hole punch will punch out. So the graphic punch looks like this, and it will punch out a circle, and that circle is bigger than what the button will be on the front. So it is a circle that will wrap around and then get pinned behind. So if you look at this example, the pink wraps around and then it goes clear down to here so that the pin back button can fasten it in. So for that reason, it tends to look nice if you have a continuous color wrapping around the edge and not like random white edge. So what we did was make your outer edge, and then this is the edge that will not show. So you can not put anything there because it's not going to show. What you're going to do is you're going to design out to this light gray line, and that is going to wrap around. So this right here, this little edge, that's going to be the edge that wraps around. When you put actual design in, you're going to want to stick around here in the middle, probably at least another yay far from the edge of the smaller circle. So if you go back here, you can see this to there is your in between your two circles, and then here starts your larger circle, if that makes sense. So there are lots of different features in Adobe Spark. One of the things that I like is that you're able to make things circular, and we'll show you that in a second. So if you wanted to add text, you would click on the T here over on the left, and then click add your text. And you might say, congratulations. It fills it in for you. If you want to get rid of this and make it larger, you can X out of that, little text options, and you can make it larger here at the bottom. So it actually looks like a thing. Congratulations. So if I click on that, you'll notice I put it there. When I scroll up and down, you can see that there are blue and red lines that are guiding you towards the center of things. But this would wrap around the edge. So I want it to be smaller. So I'm going to go over here to the right and change the font size. So there it is. Congratulations. You can't see it very well, so I'm going to make it black. You still can't see it very well. So again, to change the text color, you just click on here. It gives you options, specific options if you click on more. And then if you click on the font, you can go through and see what different fonts you might like. Let's go with black italic. So you can, again, change the size of it over here. You can, if you have multiple words, you can align them. You can move it around by clicking on the item, and then you get those 4 arrows, and you can drag it around. You can also turn it by using this little curved arrow that pops up underneath. Another thing you can do with text is actually curve it around. So say I wanted more room on this button, or I didn't want it to be broken into 2 sections. I could choose semicircle and then make that larger. And put that in the button. And make it a little bit smaller so that it shows. And there you have more room underneath to put somebody's face, or like 21 years or what have you. And you can add as many text boxes you want. 25 years. And go in there, you can make it small and put it right in the middle. So those are some of the things that you can do with text. I think the shape feature and making it curved is really useful for button making in these templates. Another thing you can do is add photos. Now you can upload a photo of your own. So if you go to upload, you could click on a photo and it will upload for you and put it into your project. And there is a flower that I put in here that I had downloaded previously. I could resize that, make it bigger so you can see. Again, these edges would be wrapping around. So I'm gonna wanna make that smaller and put it there. Now, if you can't get something exactly where you would like it to go, you can leave it there and you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to get it just where you want it. And that's probably still too big. So I like that. There'll still be some wraparound, but it won't be so bad. That you can't tell what the image is. So you can import a photo of your own, or you can find free photos. So if you look over here, I did that in a couple instances. And there are ways that could be useful, even if, you know, it's not a personalized photo. So for example, if I search dog bow tie, I find one dog with a bow tie and I click on the picture, it puts it in here. And so now I have this lovely picture of this adorable dog. And one thing that is really, really super useful for this program, particularly for button making, is that I can not only crop it. So if I go over here, if I click on the image and I go over to my right, I can hit crop and shape. So you can crop images by scrolling these back and forth. You can, oh no, I can't get them back. If you do something you don't want to do, you go to this arrow right here and hit undo. And there we are, we're back to where we were. So in the crop and shape, you can also make it into shapes. So you could make it into a star, a heart. We're going to make it into a circle, which happens to be what a button is shaped like. So once you get it how you want, because you can kind of scoot the picture around in that circle to get it to where you want. And then you click done, the check mark up in the corner. And then you can go in and if you need to, you can resize it. But if you're lucky, it will predict for you what size you're going to need it to be, because that's really lovely. And so there's your dog. You can flip him back and forth down here on the right, vertical as well, put him back to his original place. So there's all sorts of photos that you can find. I did a search for a woman, which we'll do again in a little bit. Oftentimes it will give you suggestions of things, but you just go up and change it. So it also has icons, which are single color little graphics, kind of like clip art. And you can search lots of different things. You can search food, obviously. You can search, let's see, what icon did I have before? Oh yeah, you could search star. And there will be bunches of different kinds of stars that you can choose from. And again, oh, I didn't see that star before. That would have been useful for my star button. Anyways, you click on it and it puts it in on your page. You can move it around. You'll notice that it gave it a color that wasn't black. If you want to change the color, then you can go and click on the color and change it to a color that you like. Again, you can flip it. You can make it more opaque if you want by using this scroll. So back and forth, it makes it lighter or darker if you wanted it to fade into the background, say. And then like anything, you can resize it and move it. There you go. I found a better star than my original star. So those are just basic. Again, they're one color, but there's tons and tons of them in here. Obviously, I did star and it's kind of never ending. So little icons of all sorts of things. If you want something a little bit more complex, you can also search through their illustrations and design assets. So this is where you'll notice that there's paid features. So these little yellow markers mark the ones that you cannot have access to until you pay them. So let's see, what background am I looking for? I'll just use this background. And what you can do is take that. I could make that really small, but the background, I could make it big and chop a circle out of it. So, or a star shape or a heart, if it were to work. So I can make the star smaller. Put it there, and we're done. So we can make lots of different kinds of shapes with patterns in the background, which is pretty cool. If you ever want to delete one of your images or your font, you click on it, and then over here, there's a little trash can, or you can push the delete button on your keyboard. Let's see. So those are design elements. They have that design assets. They have all sorts for you, but again, you can search. They also have backgrounds, which are sort of repeating patterns or, you know, normal background patterns of different kinds. So we could just click on one and it'll put that in there. There is a cool feature that I really like. It is the remove background feature. So you can do some really cool things and play around with that. If you have something that you want to remove the background from, you can click here. It doesn't always work as well as you would like, but if it's a really crisp picture, then it will tend to work pretty well. So especially if there's a distinct background. So you can click and resize. If I could see where there we go. Now I can crop that. So it's not really the best shape for a button. It doesn't quite fit the way I'd want it. I could crop it that way. Delete it. It's gone. All right. So, but there are lots of different backgrounds. Let's try this one. So again, I could make that into a star, into a shape. Another thing you can do is you can also add it to the background. So if you click on this little add background slider here, it'll just add it to the entire background. So maybe I don't want to place a million images all over these buttons and I don't need them all to be the same. I can do that and it will just fill in the background. So those are all the possibilities over here. If you go over here, you can see that I have done a few different things with this, these different examples. Sometimes it does take a while to load depending on your internet. It will often say replace missing fonts. I don't see the fonts change, but it will always allow you to replace it in some fashion. It'll ask you. So here, get out of that. I will go in to my wonderful dog. So this is what it looks like when I cut them out. And the center will show. So this is not the dog, but you can see that it wrapped around. Maybe you can't see that so well, but. So I did a couple of things with this. You'll notice that if I click on the dog, I took out his background. I can restore that if I want to. I don't want to, so I'm gonna go back. And if I take out the background, I can also color it in with something, which is nice. So if I click on color, then I could add orange which is very not the good color for this, just for example. Or I could go back to not having background at all. There. For this one, save the date here. There is an option, and you'll notice something that's happening here. When I click on all of this, it's moving all at the same time. And that's because I grouped them together so that they would do that, so that once I get things the way I want, I can keep them. You can also go back and ungroup them. So once you do that, click off of it, you click on the save the date, and that is a specific item. And that when you're doing text, there are ways that you can do specific shapes. So I went to shape. If I scrolled down, I went to shape and I went down here to this nice little vine. I clicked on that and it gave me the background. Click off of it, undo it. I'm trying to think if there are other things. Oh, alignment. So you might have an image that you find it hard to get it into the middle. So say I want to make sure that it's in the middle. I want to click on one item that I want to align and hold down the shift key and click the other thing. And over here, it will give you alignment options. It will also give you an option to group them together. But before I do that, I'm going to align them. See, move just a little bit. I'm going to align it this way, and then I'll group it together. And that is a very useful tool. The other thing that you might find useful is the layer order. And the layer order will allow you to send things back or to the front. Not useful in this instance, but say I added a picture and it ended up being back there, I could then bring it to the front. Sometimes you have to fiddle with that a little bit to get it in the order that you like it to be, but it's very useful. And if you ever just want to have a plain colored background, you can go to icons and hit circle. It'll give you a circle. You're going to want to choose one that's colored in, and you can click that and then change it to whatever color you want and resize it like you did before. So the last thing that I was going to tell you about is duplication. So say I have a button that I've worked on, I really like it, I want 9 of them. So I group a whole set of items together from my button, everything that's on my button. If I had text, if I had different icons, I want to group that all together. And once those are grouped together, I can go over here and hit duplicate. It'll duplicate it. And then all I have to do is move it over to where I want. So that's really easy. There are lots of other options of things you can do, but these are the basics. And I hope that really allows you to create some cool buttons at home. And I'm excited to see if you make anything that I didn't think of. So thanks very much, and happy button making.